They're two of Africa's most powerful names, Kenya and South Africa. One, the beating heart of East Africa, wild, raw, untamed. The other, the jewel of the South, modern, vibrant, and full of contrasts. Both promise a journey unlike any other. But when the dust settles, when the lions roar and the ocean waves crash, which of these African giants truly captures the spirit of adventure? Today, we're going to find out. This is Kenya versus South Africa, a travel showdown between two of the most breathtaking destinations on Earth. If Africa had a heartbeat, Kenya would be where it begins. From the golden plains of the Masai Mara to the snow-capped peak of Mount Kenya, this country is nature at its purest form. It's where sunrise meets the savanna and elephants wander freely under acacia trees. In every direction, Kenya feels alive, not just in its wildlife, but in its energy. Then you move south, and everything changes. South Africa is drama. Its contrast. Table Mountain rises above Cape Town like a guardian of two oceans, while the rugged cliffs of the Cape Peninsula tumble into the sea. Drive the garden route, and you'll pass lush forests, wild beaches, and hidden lagoons, all in a single afternoon. Kenya gives you nature in its most primal form, endless plains and untouched wilderness. South Africa gives you nature in layers, mountains, vineyards, deserts, and coastlines. Different, but equally breathtaking. In Kenya, culture isn't just observed, it's lived. The warm caribou welcome from a local in Nairobi, the rhythmic beat of traditional drums at a village ceremony, or the graceful stride of Maasai warriors draped in red shukas. Every tribe, from the Kikuyu to the Luo, brings its own flavor, its own rhythm, its own voice to Kenya's national song. In South Africa, diversity runs even deeper. They call it the Rainbow Nation for a reason, 11 official languages, and a history that has forged unity through struggle. In Johannesburg's townships, music spills from every corner. In Cape Town streets, you'll taste Malay spices, Dutch influence, and Zulu energy, all blending into one vibrant identity. Kenya feels deeply rooted in tradition. It's the Africa you imagine when you close your eyes. South Africa feels like a fusion, a melting pot of history, pain, and rebirth. Both are proud, both are passionate, and both tell Africa's story in their own unique way. In Kenya, adventure begins where the road ends. A dawn safari at the Masai Mara, hot air balloons drifting over herds of wildebeest, the sun rising over a land older than time itself. On the coast, Mombasa's Swahili charm takes over. Turquoise waters, ancient forts, and the sweet aroma of spices filling narrow streets. It's Africa's wild heart with a touch of ocean magic. South Africa, meanwhile, is a traveler's playground. You can go from a luxury safari in Kruger National Park to shark cage diving in Gansbaai within days. Hike up Table Mountain in the morning, sip world-class wine in Stellenbosch by noon, and surf the waves of Durban by sunset. Few countries on Earth pack this much variety into one trip. Kenya gives you authenticity, a sense of connection to nature and culture. South Africa gives you thrill, adventure, modern comfort, and world-class infrastructure. It's a choice between raw wilderness and refined exploration. Every great journey has a flavor, and in Kenya, it's bold and simple. You'll find nyama choma, grilled meat, sizzling by the roadside, ugali served with sukuma wiki, and the rich aroma of Kenyan coffee filling local cafes. It's communal, hearty, and full of life, food made for sharing, laughter, and storytelling. In South Africa, every meal feels like a celebration of diversity. A braai barbecue isn't just cooking, it's a ritual. From biltong to bobotie, the cuisine blends European influence with African soul. And don't forget the wines. Cape Town's vineyards produce some of the finest bottles in the world. In Kenya, food connects people. In South Africa, food defines identity. Both will leave your heart and your stomach completely full. Here's where the romanticism of travel meets reality. The budgets, logistics, and comfort that shape your adventure. Because as every traveler knows, how a country moves, feels, and costs can define your experience just as much as its beauty. Let's start with Kenya, a land where adventure doesn't have to break the bank. For many travelers, Kenya offers the classic African dream at a surprisingly modest cost. You can find cozy guest houses in Nairobi for the price of a single dinner in Europe, and safari lodges that range from humble eco-camps to world-class luxury resorts. The Masai Mara, Kenya's crown jewel, has everything from tented bush camps where you'll fall asleep to the sounds of hyenas and lions, to five-star lodges perched on ridges overlooking the endless plains. Getting around Kenya, though, is a journey of its own. If you're patient and curious, local transport, the colorful Matatus, offer a front-row seat to everyday life. They're loud, unpredictable, and full of personality. A 5-minute ride could easily turn into 20, but it's an adventure you won't forget. For comfort seekers, modern options are growing fast. Reliable bus lines, private transfers, and the standard gauge railway connecting Nairobi to Mombasa, offering one of the most scenic train rides in Africa. Still, outside major cities, roads can be rough, signs rare, and detours common. Yet that's part of Kenya's charm. It's raw, unfiltered, and real. The kind of place that rewards patience with authenticity. In terms of cost, Kenya is kind to the thoughtful traveler. Street food like samosas and nyama choma grilled meat cost just a few dollars. Entrance to national parks ranges between $60 to $100, depending on the location, and the memories are priceless. For under $1,000, you can experience a full week of safaris, beaches, and culture, something few destinations in the world can offer. Now shift south, and the landscape of travel changes dramatically. South Africa feels like a country designed for convenience. Its infrastructure is among the best on the continent. Highways as smooth as glass, well-signposted routes, and a tourism network that rivals Europe's. In Cape Town, Uber rides are fast and affordable, and the GO train whisks you from Johannesburg Airport to the city in minutes. Everything works with precision, from online booking systems to guided tours that operate like clockwork. Of course, this comes at a slightly higher cost. South Africa's major cities, Cape Town, Johannesburg, Durban, are more expensive, especially during summer. Boutique hotels overlooking Table Mountain or vineyards in Stellenbosch can stretch your budget, though the experience often feels worth every penny. For backpackers or digital nomads, hostels and Airbnbs are plentiful, while food and drinks are still reasonably priced compared to Western standards. A plate of bobo tie, a bottle of wine, and a sunset over the Atlantic might set you back just $15 and feel like a luxury. Then there's the question every traveler quietly asks, is it safe? The truth is, both countries demand awareness, not fear. In Kenya, safety concerns are mostly about petty theft in crowded areas or scams targeting tourists in big cities. Most travelers move around comfortably once they understand local customs and stay alert. In rural regions and parks, the warmth of local hospitality is overwhelming. Strangers help you, guides treat you like family, and communities depend on tourism, so visitors are deeply respected. South Africa, meanwhile, carries a reputation that often sounds harsher than the reality. Yes, certain neighborhoods in Johannesburg and Cape Town have high crime rates, but locals will tell you, safety here is about being informed, not afraid. Stick to well-traveled routes, use local guides, and travel smart, and you'll find South Africa not only welcoming, but full of heart. Tourism is deeply ingrained in the national identity, and every visitor helps fuel jobs, pride, and preservation. Accessibility also plays a big role. For travelers from Europe or Asia, South Africa's international airports, particularly Cape Town and Johannesburg, serve as major gateways, with frequent connections and visa-free access for many nationalities. Kenya is catching up fast, with Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi becoming a major hub for East Africa, linking travelers to Tanzania, Uganda, and beyond. Once you're in, internal flights are efficient and affordable. A quick hop from Nairobi to Mombasa or Diani Beach takes less than an hour, turning what used to be a full day's journey into a scenic shortcut. Ultimately, both countries deliver on value but in very different ways. Kenya gives you the spirit of exploration, the thrill of venturing off the beaten path, the joy of discovery and imperfection. South Africa gives you the structure of modern adventure, where comfort, safety, and convenience come standard. If Kenya feels like a wild symphony, South Africa is a perfectly tuned orchestra. One sings from the soul, the other performs with precision. Both, however, remind you that Africa's greatest luxury isn't found in five-star resorts or fancy airports. It's in the people, the landscapes, and the stories that unfold when you let the continent move at its own rhythm. So whether you're watching the sunset over Nairobi's skyline or sipping wine beneath Table Mountain, remember, travel isn't just about where you go, but how those places make you feel. And in both Kenya and South Africa, you'll feel something unforgettable. So, which should you visit first? The truth is, there's no real winner here. Kenya and South Africa are two sides of the same African coin, one shaped by nature, the other by history. Kenya reminds you what it means to be free, to hear the roar of a lion under the rising sun. South Africa reminds you what it means to evolve, to rise, rebuild, and redefine what's possible. Both will change how you see Africa. Both will change how you see the world. And maybe, just maybe, both will change how you see yourself.